What's going on, family? This is episode 84 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. What's Good himself, Israel. You good, Israel?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Am I having technical difficulties or is that you?
I don't think it's me.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. It's another day to be great. Make that money, May.
Oh, yeah.
After getting to the money ons. Having some fun ons.
Understandable, man. You know, today is one of them days where it's like it's grind mode, and we don't know what to expect because it's a new month. It's May. We just got off the heels of I was gonna say Valentine's Day, Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Yes, sir. How was your Mother's Day weekend?
It was pretty busy. Despite how social I was doing a lot of socially solo stuff. You know, it was crazy. Friday, I think I went to worked overnight on a Saturday, and then ended up waking up late Saturday afternoon. I had to get some type of sleep, and then let's say Saturday night went to an anniversary party, and dress to impress type event, real good. You know, put that suit on with a nice blue shirt and some fancy tie. And anniversary party for motorcycle club, and then Sunday went on a ride to Chattanooga in the mountains, and then I was just chilling. So yeah, I was socially solo. You know? Went to the anniversary.
Socially solo.
Yeah, man, it was like, you ever been lonely in a room full of people? Yeah. So I went there by myself, and then I did the ride by myself. You know, it was people out and about, but at the end of the day, I was by myself. So, how was your weekend?
Busy. Really just work this weekend. Met some new people along the way. As I was working today. This weekend. So, it was Mother's Day weekend. Without my mom. I just have a moment of silence. Just to reflect on her memories that I have with her, things like that. So, that's really exactly what I was doing this weekend. Just you know working and just reflecting. So shout out to all the mothers out there.
Yeah, shout out to the mothers. I sent my phone calls and everything, and since I ain't make it there, hey, I did my part, phone calls and text messages, and then kept it moving with the rest of my days since I was by myself. But yeah,
Man, that's crazy because you be outside. You just do us good. You always
yeah, I
know
was
where the party at.
I was just by myself, having a time. Everybody they was out spending times with they mothers or baby mothers, stepmothers, or things of that nature. And I ain't got neither one of them. The baby mom. Ain't make nobody mama. So yeah. They spending time with their family. I ain't make one yet, so I'm chilling.
Man, speaking of, so early I was of course, I'm on Mondays with Makita. And the people over there asking me when I'm gonna have a child. Listen here, y'all. Okay. Y'all don't want a little Solomon running around now, okay? Y'all don't want that for real.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
they asked you to have your baby.
Yeah,
You said they asking to have your baby?
not asking to have my baby. They asking when will I have a baby? That's what they're asking. And so,
Once you tell them, you
you
start
know,
saying we could get busy right now, they'll stop that. And like, yeah, you trying to get busy now? Let's go.
I think they just want to see a miniature me running around the church or something. I don't know. I just,
That's the problem. They be wanting to see the wrong things. They need to see some money in their bank account.
that's what you be telling them when they ask you about when you gonna have yours.
Something like
You,
that.
you be telling
I'll
them,
be
stop
like,
asking
look,
me that, huh?
I'll be like, they ain't been down here to visit. I probably got like 3 families they don't know about. Why I'm gonna tell you my families and you ain't been down here to visit? The secret things belong to God.
I'm not gonna lie. I be acting the same way. I be acting the same way. Like I be wanting to say stuff like that to them too. Like, how y'all know I ain't got no family down here? That's probably why I ain't came up there yet. You know,
Right, that's
they're
probably
like, oh
why I
yeah,
stay
I've been
down
had a
here.
baby. You know,
I be staying down
that's
here
probably
so
why
much.
I'm down here. I got
Be busy. It's hard doing the Lord's
oh
work.
snap.
It got to be a father to somebody.
Listen here, got to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, we doing what we supposed to do.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right, family. Let's get into the first. Well, off the top because it's really not really the first topic per se. Is really off the top of the NBA playoffs. You know, I gotta make sure we get our sports people a little attention before we get into the nitty gritty of what's really going on, right? And whoever I don't know, I need to stop making predictions on the podcast because I feel like every single time I make a prediction, it never works out. All right, family. So we are in the conference. We in the conference semifinals. And I did want the Knicks, I mean the 76ers to move up because of Joel Embiid and all of that stuff. Well, guess what? His team got swept by the New York Knicks. So they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're waiting on the winner between the Pistons and the Cavaliers. That series is 2-1.
Mm.
And then we have on the West Coast, still the Thunder versus the Lakers. They're up right now 3-0. So if
Yeah, I
if
think
the Thunder win one more game, they will have swept LeBron.
they need to sweep him so he could just go somewhere and sit
Huh?
down. They need to sweep him so he could
They
just
need
go
to sweep
somewhere
them.
and sit down. Yeah, get on to the next game at this point. It's like to the next. You didn't come to play for real.
And
Shame to say that you played in the playoffs with your son. That's it. They ain't trying to
he just doing it for publicity.
win. Yeah.
All right, and then the other team, the other game that's in the West right now is the Spurs with Wimben and Victor Wembanyama, which is like I say, they call him the alien because he's 7'5" and he's like the most defensive, crazy defensive player right now in the NBA. Against the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Timberwolves, against like I say, Anthony Edwards and his baby mamas. Right now, that series is tied 2-2. So the winner of that game and the winner of the Thunder versus the Lakers goes on to the Western Conference Finals. And then after the Western and the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the NBA Final Championship game. I'm going to predict again, even though I would keep predicting and being wrong.
Too.
Let's say the Knicks is coming out the East, and I believe the Thunder will come out the West. But I would like to see Anthony Edwards in his first final appearance with the Timberwolves. But I think it's going to be the Thunder versus the Knicks in the finals.
Yeah, it's gonna be Thunder versus Spurs, and then Thunder versus Knicks. I was gonna say the Spurs versus the Knicks, but I'm like, nah, I think the Thunder versus the Knicks. Cause the Cavs, they ain't gonna nah. That would yo, I would that would be an anomaly. The Cavs make it there, and LeBron ain't on it. Salty is what he would be. Yeah, he'd be real
He
salty.
definitely would.
Yeah. If that was to
He
happen,
been
I'd be
acting a
like, yo,
fool.
I gotta hang it up. You just gotta hang it up. You gotta hang it up.
Did you see? Did you see the highlight of Victor Wembanyama from the Spurs elbow the player off of the Minnesota Timberwolves right on this? Like he stared at him and then just elbowed him. He got ejected from the game for that. And
Yeah, that's
they
wild.
was they wanted to suspend him, but they didn't suspend the man. I'm trying to figure out why you ain't suspend the man, but it
Cause it
is
was
what
a
it is. We understand
he
why
was
he's
like
an
six
attraction.
three. If he was 6'3", he would never went nowhere. But since he's seven, what'd you say? Seven what?
7'5".
Crazy. 7'5" is crazy. This dude gotta have a giant. He gotta be a giant, man.
Yeah, the giant genes be running rapid in the black community. They just need to realize where it come from. The Bible talk about giants all the time, and I'm not talking about David and Goliath. Okay, there are
Yeah,
other giants in the Bible, and
yeah. We gotta talk about that.
The giant
Giants
gene
in the
is
Bible.
definitely a subject we could definitely talk about.
Yeah, but if I was a giant, oh
Definitely
yeah,
talk
I'd
about
make
that.
giant. I'm repopulating giants. You gonna know it's the giant. Israel the giant. What you talking about? I would definitely repopulate and make giants. Tell them up front. You gotta have at least 5. If you ain't having 5, you ain't for me. And then we working on it. Yeah. Be like, yo, we gotta have 5, and I gotta
Crazy.
have 3 wives and 5 apiece. Yeah,
What you well what we haven't seen Israel or anybody talk about giants, and that is the Pentagon, because they released finally some information, which I don't even think is real information, of UFOs.
it's really unidentified object, unformed some object.
Well, they renamed it now. It's not even unidentified object. Yeah, it's not even unidentified flying objects anymore. They
What is
call
that?
them UAPs,
What?
unidentified anomaly phenomena.
They don't even know how to spell that. That's why. What is that? That look like a blimp.
Well,
Okay, that look like a huge blimp coming
yeah,
from
they
one dimension going into another one.
yeah, and that's what they trying to tell you. All right, so the Pentagon on Friday began releasing never before seen files relating to unidentified anonym I just said it.
Anomaly, phenomenons.
Anomaly phenomenon, yes. Previously and more infamously known as unidentified flying objects or UFOs that the government has been holding onto for decades. The first batch of long awaited files on what the government is calling UAPs are being housed on a dedicated government site, www.war.gov/UFO.
They
And
showing pictures.
additional files with they showing pictures. That's one of the pictures that's right here, Israel.
That look
That's where I
like
got it
one of
from.
them old textbook pictures. They need some update. Out of all the updated stuff we got, come on now, like they suck. Like they still back in the 1960s with this picture or something. Like if I got to do all of that, like dude, y'all just fabricating stuff for real. Like give me the real.
Um, it says also, and additional files will be added to the site on a rolling basis. So it's got a rollout of like different type of
Probably like
so-called UFOs or to
they
give out to the
they
people.
probably doing a statute of
It
limitations.
says the American maybe. It says that the American people can now access the federal government's declassified UAP files instantly. The latest UAP videos, photos, and original source documents all in one place, no clearance required. The files show no indication that the US government has had any interaction with beings from another planet, or that it has any reason to believe that such beings have visited Earth. Instead, the release offers pages and pages of files for the public to consume and potentially draw their own conclusions.
Mm, I like the
All
way they
right,
put that.
Israel, after
We
hearing
may.
that bunch of
They be like,
blah blah
yeah.
blah.
They be like, we may have talked to them. But we seen them 6 feet away from us. If they 6 feet away, 6 miles, 6 minutes, you mean to tell me you ain't going the distance? You already there. You ain't captured one of them little ET homie. You ain't catching him.
Yeah,
See,
that's
them
nuts.
people,
Uh
they be telling them white lies. The ones they
yeah.
think that don't really matter.
So when I look at this, Israel, I think to myself, you didn't release anything. You didn't tell us nothing. It's a
Oh
bunch
shit.
of
Nothing at
pictures,
all.
bless you.
Thank you.
It's a bunch of pictures of flying objects and paperwork. So what are we talking about here? Why is this in the news? Why is this news? You didn't show me nothing.
They
You didn't show
just
me anything. I'm thinking you really gonna show like a real alien, like, oh, this is Alien Tim from 1985, or you didn't do any of that.
right. This is TA. This is ET cousin. ET1.
Right.
ET5.
Right.
ET26 or something, you know?
Yeah, so we talked about this, that they kept talking about they're gonna release it, we're gonna release it. They said that they got some more stuff to show us. They're rolling it out, which means to me they're editing and they're trying to water down whatever information that they might have. So we'll keep an eye on it to see if anything actually happens or comes about when it comes to this situation, when it comes to the release of the UFOs. I'm sorry, the UAPs now. Um, yeah, they want to rename stuff, redo this, redo that. So we'll find out what's really going on as time continues to go on. But right now, for me, it's in my opinion, it hasn't shown me anything yet. All
No.
right.
They just making
Speaking,
stuff to talk about at this point.
you said it looked like a blimp coming through a portal.
Yeah, man. One portal to the next.
um, well, update family, because I did forget to put this in the show notes. Update with the whole situation of the influencer that was over in Africa on her birthday trip, the 31st birthday trip. Her name was Ashley Janae, correct?
I believe something sort.
So he had her funeral. Um, she had her funeral last week, family. Her fiance just came back to the States. They released him from police custody and questioning him about the so-called situation when it comes to the influencer Ashley Robertson slash Ashley Janae. And right now it's still an ongoing investigation. So far he has not been charged yet. So
Crazy work.
even though that
They gave him
there's
his
a
passport back
yeah,
too.
gave him his passport back and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, I just
I
don't
mean, if
see.
he flees,
You guilty.
go ahead.
If you
What you about to
fleeing,
say,
you
Israel?
guilty. You automatically guilty. Cause
Yeah,
why you fleeing? Like I can see it's the
yeah,
police chasing you and it's like an instinct, but dude, like what? It's crazy work, man. And I don't see how people be doing the interracial dating stuff because it be crazy. It's too much that you can't relate to. Whereas, like, you got white privilege, and then you got, I don't even know to call it black privilege, but you got white privilege where it's gonna overrule every time, and then no matter the situation, you know, no matter the
That's a
situation.
good question. Is there black privilege? That's that's a good question.
I mean, you could say favoritism if it's a black on black type situation, and then you might say it's reverse racism at that point. But it's
Mm.
like certain things I would only have them as acquaintances. I couldn't do a relationship because, like, yo, have you really smelled those people? They regular BO is crazy. And then look, then when it gets down to they cleanliness and how people, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I
Yeah.
lived with one for a couple of years in college, so I know a little bit of something. With my roommate, my college roommate, freshman year and senior year, crazy work.
Was y'all racing together?
Was we racing? Is that what you call it, racing? Nah, you could say we was like stepbrothers, and it was one of those. What you call those things? It's kind of sort of like a culture shock, you know, because he learning the black slang and this, that, and that, and I'm learning what they do and don't do, and I'm like, yo, this dude ain't take a shower, and yeah, he smell like this. I'm like, yeah, we need to air it out up in here, and yeah, it's crazy.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
wow.
another thing they need to air out, another thing they need to air out Israel is them cruise ships because now we are under a whole nother attack. Oh, we got a new virus that just dropped.
Can't even go on a
It sounds
cruise
like an
ship.
album, don't it?
That look like Squid Games, new version. What they got going on, man?
Oh my god. Let's do a news report of what's going on here, family, because yeah, it's called the Het Hantavirus. But you
Nothing
can
like
you could pronounce it different type of ways.
Hantavirus,
But we gonna
Hantavirus.
let Henty, yeah, we gonna let the people who keep talking about this, distracting us with this stuff, that we gonna let them break it down. So let's leave the news report about what it is in the first place. Okay.
There's about 40 different types of hantaviruses, and they cause two distinct syndromes. The one that we're more familiar with here in the US is hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. But in other parts of the world, different strains of hantavirus can cause hantavirus.
Hold on. He sounded he sounded too white for me. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. But it's crazy. They said 40 different strains already. Like, dude, so that means somebody should have a cure for this, right? The hantavirus. Like, what? Somebody got the cure, is what you're
so
saying.
so uh, So on Mondays with Makita today, she read off on the back of a Lysol can of how what you can spray, like the spray that can like kill all the viruses. Of course, they got
Corona.
coronavirus on there and all that other. Yeah, and then they had this virus on here too. Family, the thing. Okay, let me slow down. The whole virus supposedly come from like rats' feces. Like it's not
Yeah.
even from
Who be
people
playing
or
with rats?
it's like
You know who be playing
yeah,
with rats?
who play with rats, Israel?
Them people be playing with rats, man. You know them people.
This makes me not want to go on a cruise ship. This really kind of just really deterred me from going on a cruise. I'm really upset right now because I definitely was planning on trying to go on a cruise later on in this year, and now that this just stopped me because
Just go to
I'm
one
not
with
gonna
with
be
a window.
You said with a window. I mean, so all these viruses that's been coming out, especially when it came to COVID, didn't it come from uncleanliness? So are you telling me every virus has been coming out lately, it's about how dirty people are?
Didn't I talk about that with my roommate? Uncleanliness is next to godliness, man.
Ah. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Let's see, because a lot of people have misinformation on how this spreads. Let me go back to the video. He was sounding a little dry, but let's get a little bit more information so we can continue to talk about this situation.
And the different rodents will vary depending where you are in the world and the species of hantavirus. It's not very common. So in the US, we generally get between 20 and 40 cases every year. Where you're going to get it in the US in the West is from the deer mouse. And the deer mouse is primarily at elevations above 2,900 feet in California. These are areas that are mostly in the eastern Sierras where we see the vast majority of cases in California. So people, for example, who live in the Sacramento area or in the Bay Area at basically sea level elevation, there's no risk from the house mouse or regular rats or squirrels or other rodents in the area.
Okay. All right. So you say, family, if you got a rat that's in your house or a mouse that's in your house, you can go ahead and let your cat handle that. Okay, so you say, family, if you got one of them. Like,
Perfect time for a cat. Perfect time for a cat. Look, they ain't say nothing about rats up in Chicago or New York, so y'all okay. Chicago, New York. Look, yeah, I might need a bobcat, but still, man.
not a bobcat. Oh my god, especially in New York, them things is big.
Yeah, I seen some big ones in Chicago too, but the New York ones, I think they like some little Yorkies, man. It's crazy work. Master
Oh
Splinters.
my god. I was just gonna say that. I'm like, man, it's like Ninja Turtle type of rats out there, boy.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep on going, family. Can the virus be spread from person to person? Let's see what the doctor got to say about the.
So the hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, where we see in the US, which is primarily caused by sin nombre virus in the West, that's not transmitted person to person. But other hantaviruses may be transmitted person to person. For example, the Andes virus may be transmitted rarely person to person. It's generally due to very intimate contact. So, for example, couples who are sleeping together are very close, or caregivers like a nurse and a patient, somebody who's very close. There's been other reported outbreaks related to, for example, a very crowded birthday party where people were very closely together for a prolonged period of time. So it's not common to be transmitted person to person.
Oh no, I can't have no birthday party.
Look, man, I ain't even go cap. When I be in stores too long, I start sneezing. I'm like, yep, it's time to go. I don't know what it is, but that's the sign. It's time to go. They either be around them people too long, or maybe it's the store, or just around too many people in the same place. I got to go. Look, I be like, nope, time to go. I need air circulation.
So technically, family, he's saying that the researchers and scientists is saying that you can't get it from person to person per se, unless you are it is a different type of strand of hantavirus that you can get. But also, I wanted to bring out some information that I also shared earlier today, and that is, if you ever look at the word hunter virus, and we got a strike because I broke this down on TikTok. I don't care if we get a strike here on YouTube. if you break the word down, the hunter part of the virus, hantavirus part, it is Hebrew for hoax and scam.
What?
The word itself in Hebrew means hoax or scam.
They just making that up.
This might be another one of those situations, family, because I was one of those people that people did die to COVID. It's not it is a real thing. But when I say things be man-made or genetically modified, that's what COVID was to me. And I think this is another situation here when it came to those people on the cruise ship, that it was made like that. What do you think about that, Israel?
I think somebody came on the ship and started spreading it, like anthrax, just spread around somewhere like some air freshener, and then people breathed it in. You know, one of them guys died on the. I think one or three people died on that cruise ship, and they went to one spot. From what I read, one island they got denied, and then went to another island, and I guess they let them take them off or something. And yeah, it's crazy work.
Yeah, family. So, let's see what the symptoms are for the virus. So, in case you need to find out if you need to get away from somewhere or somebody, let's see what the good doc say about this one.
So the symptoms that we're most familiar with in the US with hantavirus pulmonary syndrome is this acute onset of really severe respiratory failure. It generally starts with vague symptoms, something like fever, muscle aches, nausea. But then after a few days, it can have rapid development of pulmonary edema, where fluid leaks into the lungs, and then there's really a severe decrease in oxygenation that occurs. And so the lungs can't really, absorb oxygen, and this becomes very severe, so that patients with this need to be on ventilators or even on heart-lung bypass machines.
So we going back to a whole nother situation, Israel, of breathing just like COVID. So my question
Wear
is,
your mask. Wear your mask. I need to get another one at this point. Find the old ones.
My question to you, Israel, is: are we on our way, in your opinion, to another pandemic or shutdown?
You know, I think we could use another shutdown. Another 4 weeks. Just do it after July. Not in June. Because look. Do it in July or August or something like that. Be like a 4 to 6 week. Let them know, like, yo, let's go for 6 weeks, but just push it for a whole month, and they don't know we going to 6 week type. Because some of them people just need to sit down sometimes, right? Like, yo, all you can do is go to work and come home. Everything else is closed. Just go to work, come home. Go to work, come home.
So you think it'll be a good idea?
Oh yeah, at least for a month. As long as we can still work. Those jobs that need, what they call them?
Essential.
Essential workers. Yeah. Everything will become essential. They're gonna need some toilet paper and toothpaste.
I think maybe we might get shut down again. Maybe, and I don't think people need to worry about it too much. I don't think it needs to be a such thing as a a worry like last time, because everybody was losing their mind last time.
Right, people killing themselves.
It's just so rare for something like this to now all of a sudden catch fire in the news so fast. Okay, this happened on one cruise ship. It happened to 2 people. One person died, other people were hospitalized and treated. But now they come in, they let the people off the boat. Now they're in the United States now. 17 people. First they were fine. Now news come out that they might have symptoms. It's like, okay, what are we doing? Are we trying to scare the people again and fear
Right.
mongering, or are we just reporting what's going on in the news again? I just think I might agree with you, Israel. It's okay to slow down again.
Yeah, just
So
slow
we
it
can
down
really
just
pay
a little
attention to what's going on. Um, but we talking about UFOs, and we talking about now this Hantavirus. I'm still trying to figure out why we not releasing the rest of the Epstein files. Can we stop acting like this not a thing? Nobody's talking about it.
They trying to make it illusion. They say the most stuff we could throw at them, boom, boom. They didn't forget. They didn't forget. They didn't forget. Just news on news
Now
on
we ain't
news on news. Just bury it. That's what they doing.
we're not forgetting over here, family, at all. Not even a little bit. Not even just a second of like. Listen, get it out. Get it out.
They
Get.
not
I
doing
need
it
to know the
because
rest.
right. They not doing it because they all guilty. I'm sure the higher
Yeah.
ups are guilty up in it too. And they either fixing it or redacting stuff. That's what they doing in the meantime. So, because everybody, they would need new people, and some of those people who gonna die in them positions are probably got their job at stake or something because they up in there. But everybody in the whole, it's like you in the club and everybody know y'all in the club, but it was like we all seen you do it and we was doing it too. So what? We gonna fire everybody? They're like, nah. So that's probably what it was. That's exactly what it was. Everybody got blackmailed, and they were like, since we getting blackmailed, I might as well make it worth it. You know.
Yeah. It's a lot going on. Let me finish the video real quick because I have a video for the thoughts from the Pharaoh piece of my thoughts of basically what they're really distracting us from, right? So, and that's my little hypothesis I'm gonna go into later on in the show, family. But let me finish up this video real quick. Of the next question is, how is it treated? You do catch hantavirus. Let's see what the good doc got to say to the people.
The primary treatment is supportive care. And so patients need to get enough oxygen, have enough fluid, make sure that their blood pressure is supported. And so this dramatic, it's really a dramatic illness when patients need this respiratory support. They rapidly go from breathing room air to require high levels of ventilatory support. But the good news is that if you give the patients that support, within 1 to 2 days, they can make really dramatic recoveries. Well, it's always a good idea to practice good hygiene, and if there's rodents or rodent droppings in the area, and you're cleaning up and aerosolizing things by sweeping, good idea to wear gloves and a mask. But if people are cleaning up air manifestations, I would encourage them to look at the California Department of Public Health website, and they've got excellent information about how to do that safely.
All right. We going back to people being dirty. That's what that is.
That's crazy. That is crazy work. Yeah, that's what
We
it's
just
about.
basically going back to people being dirty. They say, how can you treat it? How can you get rid of it? Or how can you avoid it? By wearing gloves and a mask. So now we went
Get
from
some
masks
vitamin
to now
D
putting on.
gloves. Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID was a wild time, man. I was looking back at pictures and stuff, and I was like, yo, people was really up in there with trash bags and a mask and a whole respiratory thing. It was just like, it just shows you how stupid people in society are, unintelligent. I'm surprised he didn't use that PSA to say, hey, go outside, get some exercise, jog a little bit. He could have flipped it, and then all of a sudden you probably see everybody in running clubs and outside, and sun basking and stuff like that. Get some vitamin D. That would have been crazy. I guarantee you, if he would have said something like that, all of a sudden gym memberships up and everybody outside, or gym membership down and everybody outside. Either way. Health movement.
Yeah, they need to get it together. We back at the health. We back at the health. So I mean, at this point, Israel, my thoughts is are humans just that disgusting? Like
Yeah, some people just dirty.
that's all I keep thinking. Like some people just dirty. There's nothing else to it. They just dirty.
You ain't lying.
I'm trying to find this video real quick. All right, family. With all that being said, family, there's a lot that is getting thrown at us, and we need to pay attention to. Like I said, it might be another hoax because that's what the word means in Hebrew. It means hoax or scam, and that's when you got to go down that rabbit hole and start figuring out what's really going on and what's going on. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Better know it.
I want to play this video for what might be something that we might be distracted at. Israel, did you know that King Charles from England came over to visit Donald Trump?
Not at all. I don't even know what King Charles looked like. Is it a fat white dude?
The Prince Charles. Come on, man. The royal people from England that we are separated from.
Oh, those people. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed
thought he
to be
got
on
kicked
our
out the
own.
throne. Didn't he get kicked out the throne?
He got in trouble, for being in the Epstein file, but I think that was Prince Andrew.
Oh, okay. Crazy word.
Yeah. Crazy work, definitely. Yeah, I don't pay attention to them people over there in the UK, but because that's where some of these Europeans are from, and that's where we got some of our laws from.
That's probably what they do over there. It's okay for them to do it. That's what they do.
To be in the Epstein files?
Yeah, that's what they do. It's okay.
No, remember that's why he got punished for that.
Yeah, because he wasn't supposed to be in it, but they were like, yo, yeah, we do this, but you ain't supposed to get caught. Like, what are you doing? That's what happened.
Well, this is going to be my thoughts for the Pharaohs segment, family. It's my turn, but I want to show a video that we can piggyback off of, and I can share my thoughts. This is just going to be a quick little video, might be about 2-3 minutes of just talking about what else has actually been happening that is not being reported on the news. But this is the Pharaohs Podcast, and we do real research and deep diving over here. So let's get into this video real quick.
A perspective of the significance of the royalty to the USA and the collapse of the maritime admiralty law commercial system of systems cabal's centralized matrix. This now allows common law to step in again and allows sovereignty, freedom, decentralization, and productivity principles to be applied again. So a lawful decline and dissolution of the globalist imperial empire system and fictional strawman, and a new version of the sovereign common law system representing the living man. But remember, there are many vested interests in keeping the old globalist system going, including the justice system itself and the institutions, bureaucracies, and corporations. Keep an eye on Charlie Boy, the actor, and Buckingham Palace. He's long gone. The significance of the King's visit. The British King and Queen will visit America from April 27th to 30 as part of the final stages of the nation's dismantling of British Admiralty law, a critical step required for America to legally restore its sovereign state. Stops will be made in Washington, D.C., the 9/11 Memorial, and Virginia, with each location holding specific symbolic and historical significance tied to Britain's long-standing system that has quietly governed America for well over a century. This process requires the living authority to appear in person at the exact centers of origin, control, and operation. This legal requirement makes the Crown's participation mandatory as America fulfills the conditions to restore its sovereignty. Physical presence and public witness complete the legal record, with the King and Queen serving as the two living witnesses, providing full and lawful testimony that America has fulfilled the conditions necessary to restore its sovereign state. As the living head of the British Crown that has governed America through Admiralty law, the King carries the essential authority to lawfully sign off on the end of that system, the return of America's sovereignty, and the shift back to the law of the land.
All right, family. So this is what's working in the background that is not that's working in the background that is not being reported on the news. Okay? This is what's being reported on the news. So this is my thoughts this week, family. We are now switching. To a brand new or going back to a government system that used to work for us, the sovereignty of the United States of America.
And what exactly does that mean? Oh,
The
my bad.
sovereignty of America is the law of the land, of us being our own country. Okay? So not the corporation America, not the corporation, the business prototype of America, but the actual country of America. We're going from business, corporation, to actual country again. And King Charles had to come to America to talk to Trump about continuing the separation from Great Britain and the UK and the United States of America. They needed to perform a ritual. So while we're talking about the virus, while we're talking about the UFO, while we're talking about the Epstein files, while we're talking about everything, the war in Iran, because we still haven't forgot about that either. While we're talking about all of these things, Trump is doing some of the other busy work behind closed doors that nobody's talking about. I bet you guys did not know that King Charles came over here from Britain, from the UK, to come over here and talk to Donald Trump. I guarantee this is your first time hearing this right now as you watch this podcast, because it's not being reported for a reason. You're not supposed to know that the United States was a corporation, that this was a business. You're not supposed to know that they had to go do a whole ritual for the law of the land to be restored here in America. Like I said, family, the Hantavirus, however you want to pronounce it, that virus is the word itself in Hebrew means hoax. and scam. That's what the word means in Hebrew. I want you to look this stuff up. When I say things, this is stuff you can look up for yourself. Use your Chat GPT, use your Google, use whatever you want to use to help you get smart, because nowadays you're going to need to know certain things. There's new technology out that I haven't touched on this platform yet as well, called Claw, KLAW. How to make your own AI. These are tools nowadays, family, that we need to be smarting on. AI will replace most jobs. They have self-driving cars. They now have self-driving semi-trucks for deliveries. So remember when we went at the beginning of all this change of the Donald Trump and his presidency, and how we were able to listen to Elon Musk and what they was doing with Doge and all of the Department of Finance and all of the Treasury and all that stuff that he was dismantling, right? This is a warning. The gas, all of this, everything is going electronic and stuff like that. They're trying to go do away with a lot of the oil. This is why we're having problems with oil in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz and all of this stuff that's going on. Pay attention, family. This podcast is to keep you in the know, to actually push your information even further than what they're trying to show you on television, the propaganda, the games, and all that stuff, right? So this is a long thoughts for the Pharaoh, but yeah, I'm trying to break down what's really happening, family. And what's really happening is a lot of stuff in the background. While they put stuff in the forefront, a lot of stuff in the background is being hidden from you. Okay? So, what am I trying to tell you? What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to tell you, what I'm trying to say is keep all of your eyes open. Pay attention to what they're doing. They're collapsing the dollar. They're trying to go from the old system to the new technology and electronics. This is why they said they're going to do the merit base. They stopped talking. Remember, we had a problem about the degrees. What degrees worth something? Going to school for a degree, is it worth anything? They go into a merit-based, more economic system. What skills do you have? How qualified are you with your skill sets of using your hands, your blessed hands? So, know what you're going to either be replaced by AI or you're going to learn how to master using AI, because it's now, it's the future. You're being replaced by robots. They say, why would I pay a person who can get sick, who can get hurt, who can get pregnant, who can stop production, when I can pay 10 million to a machine that's going to keep going and going and going and going and going. And if it breaks down, I can put it back together within a day or two, instead of somebody that's off for 6 months or a week or 3 weeks. Instead of all of that, let me get a machine in my warehouse to do all of the work for me. They're trying to replace you. And this is why at the Met Gala, which is the everybody so-called Hollywood dress up thing that they do. Yes, tap into trades for sure. I was getting to that point too. It's all about the trades now. That's the last thing. So a survey of what jobs that AI could replace came out, and they said that one of the last jobs that AI could replace is HVAC, electricians, plumbers, nurses. It's a few other ones. Those are the last jobs that AI can touch. This is real research. All you have to do is go look this stuff up. This ain't my opinion, my thoughts. This is stuff that has been reported other than me saying it. But I want the people to know because we don't know this. People don't talk about these types of things, in an everyday situation. So, family, switching us from the corporation of America and trying to get us back to being a natural laws of the land that we need to listen to is what's going on behind closed doors while we're being distracted by the virus, while we're being distracted by the Epstein files, while we're being distracted by all of these things that's going on the television. Like I say, with the Met Gala, Hollywood's dress up party, showing another type of ritual. They show rituals in our face, but we don't think about it. But that's my thought, family. It's a long thought, more like a dissertation.
They definitely is playing in our face, but they don't want us to know because we ain't a part of the club. That's a good thought. Good thoughts of the Pharaoh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, family. With that being said, I think that's all I got for today, other than like some crazy stuff that happened this week. This week, I had some interesting passengers that came through. You know what I'm saying? But we got some Is It Disrespectful stuff coming up, family, that is crazy. I do have a video, but I can save it for next time. Oh yeah, Nick Cannon got robbed. I forgot. Yeah,
That's
we definitely
crazy.
talk about that.
Hey, robbing Nick Cannon is crazy.
By his accountant.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense.
Yep.
Who else can you get robbed by than the one that dealing with your money? Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully Nick Cannon can sort that thing out with all of those things. Israel, do you have anything else you need to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. Nope, that's it for me.
All right, family. Don't forget every Monday around 4 p.m. Chicago time, that's Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, that's Atlanta time, Georgia, wherever you are. Mondays with Makita on TikTok, okay, on her page, Sugarbolly, SUGABOLLY. All right. And thank you, family, for joining us for episode 84 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, and you can find me on Facebook at Solomon Walker. You can follow me on Instagram at CJ Walker 103. And if you want to get your book published, if you want to email me, cwalker1582 at gmail.com. Israel, where can people find you?
Man, y'all can find me at JohnATL61 at gmail.com. You can find me on my website, JonathanJohnson61.com. You can find me on the Pharaohs Podcast. Send us some questions. Ask the Pharaohs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And family, if you can't, talk to us or see us on a Monday, every Tuesday you can find the Pharaohs Podcast on Spotify. Shout out to all the Spotify listeners. Thank you for the new subscribers. We only 25 away from 300. You know what I'm saying? This is Sparta. Yeah, we getting there. We getting up there, man. I'm trying to get 500 faithful. That's all I want. But yes, family, you can definitely find us on Spotify. All right, family. We're going to see y'all next time. Peace.